I get into bed and my brain's like, bitch, we got shit to look up. What's the weather like in Detroit? And I look it up, and then an hour later, I'm like, can I go to sleep? My brain's like, not yet. You remember Debbie? Like, no, I don't. 8th grade, you wore Payless shoes. She called you poor. Where the hell is Debbie now? You can't go to bed until you know you're doing better than Debbie. I found her. I got a LinkedIn account. That woman is not getting promoted under my watch. It's like my favorite thing about being a Gen Xer is that we were born without the internet, and then it came halfway through my life, and all those bullies didn't know that I could find them later on in life. Now I show up like I'm a Scooby-Doo villain. I'm like, zoinks, bitch, it was me all along. Like, I love it. I found my high school bully online recently. He's like, I'm a small business owner. I'm like, not for long, you're not. Yelp review. I love it. I love to hold grudges. Oh my God, I love to hold grudges. I love holding grudges. This is how I hold them. I love you, grudges, you and me. It's not my fault. I'm Latina. I'm Mexican. Like, Latinas, we love God and hate everyone else.
Oh my God.
And I'm trying to be a better person. I don't want to brag. Oh my God, I'm bragging so early, but I go to therapy. I am so sorry. I have therapy money. Oh my God. I have enough money where I can pay people to think about stuff. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. The other day, my therapist was like, you have low self-esteem. I was like, man, that's because it has half the calories of regular self-esteem, dude. Like, and I do. I have low self-esteem. It's because of the way I was raised. I was raised in an old-fashioned family where the women were taught that we were second to men. We always had to make sure that the men were taken care of. And then if there was any time left over, then you could take care of yourself. And there was never any time because those guys are needy. Even worse, I grew up in a Mexican family where the favoritism is right in your face. Because let me tell you, parents love their kids. But the way a Latina mother loves their son, they leave the room. Where is he? Where is he, mi niño? He's at work. Don't worry, you'll see him soon. He still lives with you. He's the perfect son. He can do no wrong all day long. The mom's like, I need a mi niño. My baby, 57-year-old baby. And that's his sister. Let me tell you, Latina moms think their sons are so perfect, they name them Jesus. They're like, my son is perfect like the Son of God. And he's a carpenter too. Latinos are the only ones that name their kids Jesus. White people, you guys stay in your lane, you know what's up. White people will name their kids friends of Jesus, you know? There's Mark, there's Paul, there's Joseph. I'm here because I wanted to check in with everybody and make sure that everybody's doing okay. Because let me tell you, I don't think, in 2024, I don't think we've actually had a true moment where we have understood what we have gone through in the past 5 years. And I mean just COVID-wise. Do you know how amazing you are that you went through that and you're here today because of it? And let me tell you, it was not easy. There were a lot of people that made it really hard. You had ugly people that didn't want to wear a mask.
Oh my God.
Why not? You're ugly. We're letting you hide your face. Like, you think you're that good looking? Like, dude, if you were good looking, I would understand it.
I know right
Pitt
now
was
those
like,
people
screw
keep
masks.
putting on
That's
masks.
right,
You
baby,
think
screw
they're
masks. But my cousin, no, dude. It's ridiculous. But I'll tell you, I'll be up front. I think a lot of us learned a really hard lesson. My loved ones learned a hard lesson during the lockdown. And that was that the jobs we loved didn't love us back. And let me tell you, during that time, my family, we found out a hard lesson. That the jobs that didn't love us back, I realized we had been living the wrong way. We have been taught that you have to work hard. We have been taught that working hard is the most important thing in your life. You could say that your family is, but you gotta work to support your family. What we don't realize though, is that we never know how hard we have to work. How hard is enough? When is it enough? It never is. Because we are taught to work hard, but I always say you should work soft. Because honestly, we live in a country where people tell you, hey, if you work hard, you're gonna get rewarded. But they don't tell you how much work has to go into getting that reward.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you, you gotta work hard, but then if you're lucky, you can retire. And then when you retire, you might have 10 good years of living life and having fun. Why do we have to wait till the end to have fun? Let me tell you, my mom, I learned my work ethic from my mom. My mom, she was from Mexico. She grew up in a little village, a little ranchito, middle of nowhere, no running water, no electricity. My mom and my dad met the old-fashioned way, right? He kidnapped my mom. And I know it's like the Titanic. I know. Yuck, I know. That's how people used to meet in my mom's village. The men had all the power. They would pick whatever woman they wanted. They would take her from the home. Whenever she was taken from the home, she could never go back. And they were married until they died. And she did that because that was tradition. Then years later, she was like, man, I hate this guy. Can I leave this guy? And everybody's like, no, you can't leave that guy. It's tradition. She's like, oh, okay. Nah, never mind. I'm leaving that guy. And she became the first woman in her life, in her family, to leave her husband. She ended up coming to the United States, 4 kids. And then she found out here, you could date. She was like, Christela, get the hell out. I'm like, yes, mommy, it's like Costco. You can sample as much as you want. Here you can date Mark and Paul. Mommy, here you can date Jesus, mommy. Right? And here's the thing, though. My mom, she was a cook at a Mexican restaurant. She worked 6 days a week, double shifts. She was undocumented. She would make $150 for the week. Double shift, 6 days a week. But they would do that because she was undocumented. And they would tell her, what are you gonna do? She would suck it up. And that's the problem, that we are told that we have to work hard. And sometimes we have to work hard because they don't pay you because they know that they can get away with it. Doesn't make it right.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom's day off was Monday. I grew up in McAllen, down South Texas.
Woo!
956. Yeah. On Mondays we would do errands and we would go to the mall. And back then, the mall would have a movie theater. And my mom would walk by the movie theater and she would say, I bet you it's so nice to go in there. I bet you it's so cool. I bet you it's so fun. And we would tell her, Mom, you want to go see a movie? Because we would go see a movie. And she was like, no, later. To the point that I got old enough to drive and she still hadn't gone. Now let me tell you, my mom and I, we were best friends. I was my mom's caretaker until she passed away. I used to share a twin bed with my mom until I was 18 years old. We told each other everything. And I would always tell her, hey, Mommy, this Monday, you want to go see a movie? She would always say, no, mija, next Monday. And I realized she was never going to go because she never thought she deserved it. She never thought she worked hard enough. She put that thing on a pedestal, and she ended up passing away before she went to the movies. Now when you think about it, what a simple thing it was to go see a movie, but she put that shit on a pedestal because we have been taught to put that thing on a pedestal. When that happened, I was like, that's the last time anyone in my family goes through that. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but for the rest of my life, I'm gonna make sure that my family knows how to have fun and enjoy life. And I don't know how to do that because we grew up in the same stupid family. Then in 2016, I got my big break. I got my first Netflix special. Oh, let me tell you. I got paid the most money I had been paid for anything, and it wasn't a lot of money. Let me tell you, at that point, I already had a TV show named after me. I created, wrote, it was based on my life, based on my stand-up, and the white men in the writer's room made more money than I did. Because that's what they tell you, right? You should be so lucky you got that choice. You are so lucky that we picked you to get screwed over. We could have screwed over other people, but we picked you. Look at you winning. So I got paid the most money I had been paid for that special. And I decided to take my family on vacation. People always ask me, how do you know you made it? How do you know you made it? And I always say the same thing, when I could put my bills on auto pay. That's how you know you made it. That is a flex. Who got auto pay money up there? Like, come on now. I grew up in a family where you had to pay enough to make sure things weren't disconnected. Now I got auto pay money. Now I go up to the electric company, I'm like, pick a day, dude, you know? So I decided to take my family on vacation. My family had never been on vacation. My family, we didn't know that people go on vacations. We didn't understand that people go to places where they don't have relatives. So I decided to take everybody, 7 of us, to Hawaii for a week. Hawaii, because I was like, let's go, let's do it big, right? Now let me tell you, I grew up in a mixed status family, and we are all very Americanized, until we go outside. And then I look at us and I'm like, oh my God, we are just piñatas walking around. We are a bag of takis, oh my God. We get to Hawaii, we check into the hotel room, and I tell everybody, hey, check into your rooms, be back in the lobby in 15 minutes. Let's get this fun started. 15 minutes later, we come back, my family makes a circle. Because when families meet in public, we take up a lot of space. Outside of Denny's and IHOP, we'll be right by the door, we'll block it, we're like, go around us, we're a family, right? My oldest brother, born and raised in Mexico, he's on the opposite side of the circle. He looks at me and he's like, now what? Like we're in rival gangs, right? Like we didn't grow up in the same family. And I was like, what do you mean now what? He's like, well, we're here for a week. Now what? And I look at him and I'm like, I don't know. That's when I realized I didn't know what to do on a vacation. I had no idea what to do on a vacation. You know why I picked Hawaii? Because the Brady Bunch went there. I didn't know that people plan things for vacation, so I was like, okay. I look at my family, I'm like, there are 7 people here that I just kidnapped to Hawaii. We got nothing to do, what do I do? And I just look at them and I'm like, okay, Mira, this is what we're gonna do. We are gonna walk around the hotel. And we are gonna see what white people are doing. And when you see white people having fun, you tell me, we'll make a list and we'll go do that. And that's exactly what we did. We just looked like Mexicans at the zoo. We were like... My sister and I were walking by the hotel beach, right? There's chairs and there's people just lying down, like doing nothing, and it freaks my sister out. She's like this, like... What is this? How long do you do this for? And I look around and I'm like, I don't know, Julie. I think they're trying to be our color. I don't know if we're allowed. I think we're done. And I know, it sounds ridiculous, but in my family, we were never taught to not do anything. You always had to be doing something. You couldn't waste time. Wasting time was seen as a bad thing. In my family, you could never say that you were bored or had nothing to do, because they would give you something to do. And it was never anything easy. It was like, oh, you're bored? Paint the house then. Why is that bored? Paint the house. Let me tell you, I took them to Hawaii. A year later, I took them to Disneyland, and I realized this is what I'm gonna do with my family. I'm gonna teach my family how to have fun, and we're gonna go on trips. And let me tell you, they're not expensive. I got them together one day and I asked them, hey, I want you to make a list of everything we wanted to do when we were little kids. We're gonna make that list, and for the rest of our lives, we're gonna do that. Now, my favorite trip that we took, in 2016, my oldest brother became a citizen after 30 years of trying. And I love telling that story because people that don't know think that there's a line you get in. And let me tell you, I always say it, there is no line. You win. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. When my brother became a citizen, I took him to DC so that we could do American things now that he's an American, right? My brother is the most patriotic person I know. If he could become a bald eagle, like that, he would be like, bye, sister. When I was in DC, we were doing things. We did a tour of the Capitol, not on January 6th. And I asked him, hey, Ruben, how does it feel to do American things as an American? And he said, sister, I've always been an American. It took this country 30 years to figure it out. Thank you guys. My name is Christel Alonzo.
Wow. The power of choice, the power of art can be used. And this is an immigrant performing, and many refugees can do that. Thank you. Wonderful.